Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today we're looking into a new synthesizer, software synthesizer from Air. It's called Sub.factory. Now, with a name like Sub.factory, you're guessing it's going to be a bass-related synth, and sub meaning a lot of bass. When they write about it, they talk about making not just the classic 808 bass sound, but much more. Industrial strength bass sound. So in your face, big sounds. So it can be very, very aggressive. It can be subtle. It can be huge because it's a lot of bass. It's actually using two wavetables, oscillators, plus a sample based. So you got two wavetables and a sample oscillator playing at the same time. Well, you decide how you want to play it. So let's just dive in. We'll look at how it works. So the look of it is rather simple. It looks a little bit minimal when you look at it, which is great because it's easy to navigate. You have this one window with a couple of different switches, and that's it. I mean, you have the oscillator A and B. Click on the letter to turn it off or on, or you can click here to be off or on. So you've got the oscillator A and B, the two wave. So these are wavetables. So you click here, you have a list of what they sample. So they sample analog synthesizers or analog oscillators. You click here and you can play with the index and change this. So it's interesting because of the fact that it's wavetable, you can create that analog unstableness or a little bit chaos that you would get by playing with the index. Okay, you can play by hand, or you can actually assign it an LFO. So if you get one LFO here, click on target, and you can say it's going to be assigned to index A, for example, and the amount you want. This is the amount here, and it's going to be assigned between this and that value, 36 and 69. So now if I play that sound, the target, well, the LFO is shaped like this. So if I change the shape to have something a little more like this, so you hear that movement here. If I change it here, so it's easy to create that movement of the original, let's say, pulse width modulation or stuff like that. You just need to select the wave that you want. Like, it's moving here. It's just going faster. So we hear now that movement here more easily. So you have a list of them. You get a lot of analog sampled. Again, target, if you make it a bit less extreme and the speed to be slower. You know, more of a natural sound that is controlled here. So let's turn this off for now. I'm going to turn this off and just have this. So you have all these analog, then you got digital oscillators have been sampled here. You have hybrids, so mix of different things. You have harmonics, different type of. Okay, and last one is vowels. So you have this, okay? So let's say we go back to analog, because I like that one. So you have the oscillator 1, or the wave generator 1. You can change the pitch, of course, the tuning, the index. So you're basically playing between the waves, but you have a pulse width modulation by this. Turn the second one on. Also, you've got the two you can play. You have here panning, left and right. You get volume for each of them. And the last one, third one is a sample. You can turn it on by clicking here S or clicking this one S. It can be stereo or mono just by clicking here. And you have a list of samples. Again, you can load from this. So there's a lot of kick related stuff, loop. So a lot of 808 type of 808 shots. You got stuff that let's turn these off. Clicks, noise click, blade. So these are more for adding kind of the attack or the transient of your sound. Then you get white noise, different type of noises, ghostly impact, light impact, noise eraser. And again, you can change the start point. By itself, in the sample, you have another filter here. It's an I-pass. You can clip it. So you can really do some sound editing here. And now it's following the keyboards, it's key tracking. You can put it in reverse. After it goes into a filter, now there's 12 different types of filters you can pick, and you can actually morph between them. So this is also a way to create these evolving sounds that they're going to morph between. You see, this is kind of a weird morph in a way, but this is pretty interesting. Again, you can say target for the LFO. I want to send it to the filter morph. And you can say that that filter is not going to be affecting B, but just A, or not A, just B. So you can also this, and you can also have the filter doing key follow. So as you key tracking, as you go up, the filter can follow you. You can do in resonance mode. So the filter is actually, you're not seeing the filter move, but it's actually doing key tracking. You've got an envelope that basically controls the volume. You can also send the envelope to the cutoff point if that's what you want. You have a side chain. Unison, when you click on it, you have access to this fat sound. Let's say we're going to take another one. Let's say shark. Okay, unison. See, you got some unison, some spread, and the two of them are pretty cool, pretty nice and round. Control, basically velocity and gliding and legato mode if you want it. And the last one is effects. And effects, you've got ring modulation if you want between A and B. Really cool. Yeah, chorus, you got drive, of course you can have it. Because really it can become really aggressive and noisy. And in that case, it's not a bass anymore if you want. It can become just a synthesizer, but it's aimed to be bass dedicated. And you can have, which is interesting, in the EQ section, you can have the bass to be in mono. So that's always interesting because if you have too much of a stereo effect with bass, it becomes muddy. So under, I don't know which frequency, under, let's say I'm guessing under this, which is low, you can actually mono this. So everything under this becomes mono. So it's easier to track in a song. So it's a cool little detail that they added. So very simple in a way. You've got these three windows at the bottom. You've got this switch between these two windows, but everything else, see sample, you've got the control here for which is a sample, and you go back to sub, you have this control here for the two sub A and B combined and then go into the filter. It's a pretty cool and simple bass-related synthesizer. So if we just listen to, there's so many of them. That's more weird in that case. A lot of them are aimed at recreating kind of the 808 type of sound, but playable as an instrument, which is interesting. So that's it. Plenty of preset to choose from, enough control to make it into your own. I wish I had even more control because I'm a synth guy. I wish I had another LFO to be able to control separately the index of A and B, or control some part of the wave of the sample, let's say start and delay. But it's not a problem. It's just you load these samples, you load these preset, you play with it. You have already a great bass sound. But for me, I think that every synthesizer, I can say, I wish I had more modulation control. And then in this case, it's also the case. I wish I had more. But what they have already here is a pretty good wavetable list you can play from it. That's really cool. And the fact that you can play, use this to really make it into the sound you want is a really cool thing. So if you're in the market for a bass specified soft synth, you should look at Sub.factory. That's it. Stay safe, make more music, and see you soon. Cheers.